Good morning, everyone. This is Wangdeep Tamang, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, Salesian College, Siliguri Autonomous. Today, I'll be presenting a lecture on the introduction of auditing and its regard to its origin, development in India, scope, definition, and how does it differ from accountancy and investigation, and conclude it with the qualifications required for an auditor. First, we will see the origin of the word auditing and how it came into being. The word audit comes from the Latin word audire, meaning to hear. In early times, bookkeepers would go to an impartial person, read out their accounts, and get feedback on whether they were correct or not. This impartial person was known as an auditor, literally, in translation, means to hear. This tells us that auditing is rooted in trust, verification, and interdependence. In earlier phase of auditing, auditors weren't checking written reports but listening and verifying orally. Now we will see auditing and how did it originated in India. In India, auditing has its roots in 1914 when the Indian Companies Act 1913 came into force. For the first time, companies were legally required to get their accounts audited at least once a year. This created a demand for the professional auditors. Later, the Chartered Accountancy Act of 1949 formally legalized the profession of chartered accountancy, thus making auditing an integral part of corporate governance in India. To understand auditing, we first need to see its definition, and we will see the definition that is given by Taylor and Perry. Taylor and Perry define auditing as an investigation by an auditor into the evidence on which financial statements are based to ensure they present true and fair view. This means the auditor does not prepare accounts but reviews them independently to check if they are reliable and free from major errors or fraud. In short, auditing provides credibility to financial statements. And also remember that auditors check the vouchers, bills, receipts, and documents that are required to prepare financial statements such as trading and profit and loss account, balance sheet, and trial balances. Now we will understand the scope of auditing. The scope of auditing has been explained through 3 points. Firstly, the scope of auditing is not just checking numbers. It includes determining the fairness and authenticity of financial statements, detecting and preventing error and frauds, and ensuring compliance with rules and regulations. Today, the auditor's role has expanded due to business growth, statutory requirements, and professional standards like standards on auditing. So, auditing has evolved from a narrow check of accounts to a broad examination of governance, compliance, and risk management. Now, we will see the differences between auditing and accounting. So, it has been explained point-wise in the slide, and to add more points, accounting is about preparing financial statements, while auditing is about examining them. Accountants record and classify transactions. Auditors verify whether these records are correct and reliable. So, in simple terms, accounting is about creation, auditing is about evaluation. For example, if accounting is writing a story, auditing is proofreading it for accuracy. And now we will see the differences between auditing and investigation. Audit and investigation are often confused. Students confuse it with similar meaning and concept, but they do differ. An audit is general, routine, and broad. It checks overall fairness of accounts, whereas an investigation is specific, detailed, and focused, often done when fraud or special matters in the company are suspected. Auditing is done by an auditor, whereas investigation can be done by an auditor or also by a specialized person appointed by the company. For example, if a company suspects a fraud, an investigation is launched in the company and it is not a form of a regular audit. Now we will conclude the presentation with the qualifications that is required by an auditor. Now we will see the criteria for an individual to be an auditor in India. In India, an individual can be an auditor when he passes the CA examination conducted by the ICAI. Thus, an auditor must be a chartered accountant and should possess valid certificate of practice issued by the ICAI. He should have a deep knowledge of accounting principles, practices, and business operations, be aware of company law, mercantile law, and regulations. Most importantly, he has to have honesty, impartiality, and be independent. He should not come under the influence of management. Without independence, the value of auditing is lost. An auditor must resist any pressure and remain unbiased. So, the auditor is not just a technical expert but also a person of integrity. Now, I would like to conclude the presentation. To conclude, auditing has grown from simple listening of accounts to a structured, regulated profession, ensuring reliability and trust in financial information. It helps organizations detect fraud, comply with laws, and builds credibility. A good auditor combines technical knowledge with honesty and independence. Thank you for watching this video. I'll be back soon with more videos on the similar topic, so stay tuned. Thank you.